Hello, Karen. Thank you for finally coming back. I want to let everybody know that we are now live on YouTube. Welcome everyone to Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is a weekly drawing session that started about 6 or 7 years ago, long before the pandemic, and doing things like this was popular. My name is Mark Monlux, so I'm going to ask everyone to go by and say who they are, what country they're in, and what projects they're working on today. So I live in Tacoma, Washington, and today I'm going to be working on a movie poster for The Thing, and then doing some coloring work for my jigsaw puzzle that I'm working on. Bill, you were in the room next. What are you up to?
I am Bill Morse. I'm a illustrator and cartoonist working out of Seattle, Washington, and I'm going to be inking some comic strips.
Roger, you're up.
Yeah, hi there. This is Roger Crown, Toon Raj 99 here in Spokane, Washington, USA. I'm not sure what I'll be working on, probably some animation. Thanks.
You're next in the room.
Your mic is malfunctioning today.
Oh, don't worry about it then. And Karen, what are you working on today?
I'm not an artist, and I don't work in this area. I'm just interested, personal interest. That's I'm here. Just to watch and learn. That's all.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. As you can see, Roger is a traditional artist, and both Bill and I are traditional artists as well, but we do a lot of drawing on our tablet. So what are you going to be doing today, Bill? Are you going to be working in your sketchbook or on your tablet?
I am working mostly on my tablet today. And
so I thought I would show, I'll see if I can get it up and running. Oh, it's not there yet. I can show you guys briefly how far I am on the puzzle.
I saw your video of it.
Thank you very much. And I have to keep reminding myself to look up because I know that Katie and Elizabeth are sometimes late to the game. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. So this is my jigsaw puzzle, and I've just started coloring it as I was coloring Stowe. That's one of my friends. And one of the things I did, Bill, was I started coloring him on the wrong layer. So often the case, so I made sure to lock that layer this time. And now
I can't bust your chops about it because I've caught myself doing it way too many times.
So this is a scene in Tacoma called Tolson's Plaza. Let me close that. It is a park that a lot of art events happen, and this is a scene of all my friends doing their various public art projects. So I'm going to be coloring this in quadrants. First, I'm going to be doing people over in this section. And the reason I'm doing that is in case the file clogs up and gets to be too big, I can go back and in an earlier version, do another section, like say this tent section over here. And then I'll do another section like these people with the UFOs, and bit by bit piece them together if I have to. But I'm going to just see how far I can go with the coloring in one fell swoop. And my friend Lonnie here, I have to find the photograph of her to double check to see what her clothing colors were. I want to be fairly accurate, but maybe I should just skip that and go nuts with her clothing. I don't know how close to the rules. I mean, I'm just doing this for an art project, so I could probably get away with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm trying to think of what to do on the skirt. I'm thinking about maybe drawing some musical notes on her skirt. Anyway, I'll stop sharing because I know that wiggling the image around like that can make some people sick. Oh, Roger, I love that claw you're drawing.
Yeah. Oh, on a little side note, since we're showing stuff off, it's not what I'm working on right now, but because the season's kind of officially started, as a way to brush up on my watercolors, I started doing a little bit of Addams Family art.
Oh, that's wonderful, Bill. Will you be posting those on your Instagram account?
Yeah, in about a week or so, I think. And maybe do a few more of them as well.
Now, can people find you on your Instagram by typing in Bill Morse, or do they have to type in WP Morse?
It's WP.
WP Morse, okay. People can find me on my Instagram account by just typing in my name. Roger, do you have an Instagram account?
Not yet. I can't get the Instagram via my PC.
Oh, that's odd.
They won't let me add, even though I must have gotten the account via my phone when my phone was working, but I can't get access to it. And I definitely want to add, so forth, you know, have fun, but oh well.
What you may want to do, Roger, is use Hootsuite. I'll type it into the chat.
Oh, okay.
Hootsuite is an app, or you can sign into your browser through it. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to schedule postings on different social media portals. Now, on the free service, where you don't have to pay for anything, you can have up to 3 social media portals. The ones I selected were Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And you can do a posting that goes out to each one of them. First, you select which portal, then you upload your image, type in your what you want to say, maybe some hashtags, and then you can post it straight away, or you can say, publish this on Monday at 8 a.m. And I think you can do up to 5 or 8 postings on the free account. It used to be that you could do 30. But they cut that back because they really want people to start subscribing to their service. When you do a pay service, I think you can do up to 8 portals and have unlimited postings. It used to be 100 postings, but I think they had to strengthen that up. It's been a while since I looked at what they wanted for subscription, but I didn't want to pay. I'm already paying a lot of monthly subscription fees.
Yeah, I mean, I looked it over, and much as I'm willing to bite the bullet for a good cause, it did not appear to be worth it to me.
One of the other apps I'm using on a is I'm reteaching myself Japanese. So I'm using a app called Duolingo. And I'm using the free service, which has a lot of ads popping up, but they want almost $8 a month for their subscription service. You can learn as many languages as you want to, spend as much time. And if I was serious about learning a language and had to be a student, I might go for that subscription fee. But what the ads do is the ads tell me that I need to get back to work. I basically take a break. Instead of playing a game, I'll go on and play that app.
Right. Okay, great, thanks.
And I think there's other apps besides Hootsuite that you can schedule postings with.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that I have one that's exclusively for Twitter, but
Oh yeah, that's called a TweetDeck.
yeah.
Now TweetDeck is great, but like you say, it's just for Twitter. But you can do, what's the limit on doing postings? You can schedule a lot of them.
Yeah, I think it's a big enough limit that I'm not even aware of what the answer to that question is.
Yeah, I think it's like 100 postings. But yes, I was recommend a friend of mine who is a writer wants to schedule out several postings and do them in a week. And so I told him to use TweetDeck. Bill, why don't you go ahead and do a screen share and show us some stuff.
Okay.
I'm making it so that multiple people can see. There we go.
Okay, this is some of the preliminary art for my upcoming web comics called Rhapsodies. I do most of the preliminary sketching on Patreon, and then I move it over to Clip Studio Paint, and depending on whether my screen share is working correctly that day, I do most of the inking on Clip Studio. And so I generally, ever since I'm going a lot faster ever since I got the iPad, because that now I'm able to do all of my drawing on the iPad, provided it's cooperating, because what is that? I do not. Can anybody else see this green line?
I see this. I see your screen. You're currently moving between two panels. I see P Blossom on the panel right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a character to her left. And the toolbar was on that character, but it looks like you moved the toolbar out of the way.
Yeah,
Do you have multiple tablets or pages up?
yeah, but I've never seen this green line before, and it looks like it's exclusively on mine. Just a second, I'll turn it. I don't think it's causing any trouble, so I'm not going to experiment by turning it on and off again.
What do you mean by a line?
Currently on my screen, there is a green line that is pretty much going completely across my screen.
In the middle, is it a very thick line?
Yeah, at first I thought I'd accidentally at first I thought I'd accidentally created a ruler, which I've done before, but this is going over the toolbars as well.
Yeah, we're definitely not getting that on the feed here.
Okay.
But maybe you should close out your app and go back in. Or were
Okay.
you just drawing on the nose? Because I saw you started trying to draw on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to be affecting anything, but
In the previous version, I saw a red line in your toolbox.
but anywho.
But no, not on your whole feed. You see green line outline of your characters and then blue line, so
Yeah,
forth.
that's not the green line I'm talking about.
Right. I understand.
And so I enjoy going back and forth between Patreon and Clip Studio. I mean, the main reason I do a lot of this amount of work on Clip Studio is that because it's meant for primarily for cartoonists and illustrators, it does things like creating these nice little panel borders, and it's great for text manipulation, provided you do the editing in advance.
One of the things I decide that I need to work on is this mover poster for the thing. And as soon as I get a couple elements put out of my email and onto the page, I'll show you the rough idea I have. And then I'm just going to be starting to do a composite, an outline sketch.
I could have sworn you guys did this thing sometime last year. Well, not last year, but pre-COVID.
I've never had a chance to do the poster. I'm trying to remember if maybe one of my friends did it, and but it wasn't for the Grand Cinemas, maybe for Friday Night Frights at the Blue Mouse Cinemas. For those of you who don't know and aren't regulars, I have several friends here in Tacoma, and we all take turns doing promotional movie posters for the local independent theaters. And then we take these posters and we sell them at conventions, but we also sell them at the theaters. The theaters love us coming into their lobbies and selling our posters because it's a draw to get people to come to the theaters. Say, hey, look, we have artists making posters for us. And it was simply a matter of contacting the theater and saying, hey, here's an idea a project we'd like to do with you. What do you think?
How long have you been doing that, Mark?
Well, we started doing that back in June of 2019 for the Grand Cinemas. But 5 years prior, this got started with a guy named Anthony Duzak, who the Blue Mouse Theater, what he did was he decided that he wanted to watch old horror movies from the 70s and 80s. So he would rent the theater and rent a movie and work in conjunction with the theater so that the theater would be paid off to show this movie. And he'd tell all of his friends, and he has a couple hundred friends who are regulars at this event now, but he would only do it once a month. And part of the excitement was some of his friends were artists and said, hey, why don't I do a poster for you? And he said, sure, that sounds great. And doing a poster for him at Friday Night Frights is great because that crowd is long and well established. They've been coming to see these movies for 5 years, and you can make between $300 and $500 an evening selling in half an hour just before the movie starts, selling the prints. Whereas at the grand cinemas, the crowds still aren't quite used to us. And you might get lucky and sell about, 15 prints, which isn't really the same amount. And right now, because of COVID restrictions, our table size at the grand cinemas is really reduced. So you can't bring in all your merchandise. You can only just sell some of your prints. And they also don't want people clustering up at your table. It's basically there for the regulars to come to quickly buy their print and go into the movie theater. And I'm trying to remember how to import in. Here we go. I click on that button.
Yeah, I've been sort of been wondering if that's a possible thing for Cartoonists Northwest to do. Though generally with a lot of these suggestions is kind of like herding cats, and two, the only place I can think of at the moment is the Grand Illusion, which doesn't have much of a lobby space.
Well, what we do, how is it on the inside? Is there like a stage at the front of the screen?
I don't remember.
Because if there is, there's no lobby space inside the Blue Mouse Theater. However, so we set the tables up in front of the screen and then move the tables out of the way for the showing. But there's sort of like a little stage there because they also do the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we here in Spokane, we've got a art fest this coming weekend, but I would have had a booth, but I didn't know about it. They never contacted me.
Well, that's too bad.
And it's on the same weekend as that 24-hour Comic-Con, Draw Comic-Con.
Are you going to participate with that through the guild?
Yes.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, James Stowe will be host number 1, and then Bill or someone else
I'm host number 2, yes.
number 2, yeah.
So if you guys are curious about this, the first weekend of October, Saturday and Sunday, it's a thing called the 24-hour comic challenge. And what it is, you go in with no preconceptions, just an empty paper and pencil. And in 24 hours, you have to write, sketch, and ink a 24-page comic. Now, I know that Bill and I have done this challenge in the past, and I would say about 2/3 of the time I finished, but there have been times when I haven't finished. Didn't even come close.
I've done it twice, and it was 50-50 for me.
Yeah, I did it last year, and the host had computer problems, so he had to shut down.
Oh, I remember that. That was Stowe. He crashed and burned so hard. He cries now when he still thinks about Bill, I'm looking at your second panel, and where you have the woman's dress is tangent with her hair. So I think if you could fix that tangent on the strap, because right now it's looking really awkward.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to move her arm. It's just where that one strap is just too. I know it's because you were resizing her head.
Yeah.
If you give up the screen, I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you this concept. So let's see. Here we go. Share screen. So my idea for this poster is to have the black in the background. The white of the lettering is actually going to be filled with the creature coming through it, and each stage is going to be a different.
So is there more or is that it?
No, there's going to be more. I just want to show a little bit of what my concept is. Like
Just wondering.
this bottom level here.
It looks great, typeface, so forth.
Okay, oops. So let's see, the next oops. So as the each word, the thing will have a different color as its main background or theme. And then what I'm going to do is over the top of it, I'm going to have, this is like one of the scenes. I'm going to have the creature in the background with all of its grisly parts and weird variations. I might have to do a different one than this because this one looks too skinny. But that's the basic concept. So I thought what I'll do now is actually do the sketch of the creature. But I might have to get myself some better reference than that. I'll stop sharing. But what do you guys think of that as just a broad concept?
Looks good so far.
Mark, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can see your lips moving, but
How about you, Bill? Can you hear me talk?
Hear you fine, Mark.
Okay.
Can you hear me there, Roger?
no, not yet.
Roger, can you hear Bill? Bill, ask
It looks
Roger
like
a
you're plugged
question.
in, but
Can you hear me now, Roger?
no. So whatever you were explaining on your concept, couldn't quite hear, but it did look great. I love the colorization of it, although I'd use blood red. Oh well.
Bill, can you instruct Roger to check his chat? I mean, just talk. See if
Okay,
he's hearing you.
Can you hear me now, Roger?
No,
Uh,
no, not yet. Keep trying. Go in the chat, I guess.
yeah. I'm talking now.
No, I can't tell. No, I can't hear anybody.
Still nothing?
Huh. Not sure what to say. I could hear you right before your description of the thing, and then, like I said, on my screen, you're open mic, and Bill's open mic, I'm open mic. Yule is closed, and where's the other one? So in the chat, we can hear you and each other. So it's muted at your end. Okay, I'll try to unmute.
Okay.
There. Now can you hear me?
We can
Can you
still
still hear me, I hope.
Can you hear us now?
Okay, try just that. Can you hear me now?
Oh, we could always hear you, Roger. Can you hear us?
Okay, I cannot hear you.
Okay.
Huh. Well, let me go out and come in and try that.
See you on the other side,
Huh.
Roger.
Hmm.
Roger's had technical difficulties before. Oh, and we lost Karen. Well, it was nice having her here. Well, I hope she got. I should have asked if she had any questions. So, okay, and re-admitting Roger. Roger, can you hear us?
I'm not here. Oh, he's still connecting.
Okay, so I hear you now. Maybe I just have my speaker off. I don't know.
Yeah, it said that your audio wasn't connected. So it must have been something, maybe there, I don't know why, but we could hear each other just fine.
Yeah, like I said, it was going good until you started talking about your thing. Oh well, we're back now.
Yep.
If nobody objects, I'm going to take over the screen for a little bit while I sketch.
No problem.
There we go. think what I'll do is I'll just draw the monster a bit from memory.
Yeah,
First, I'm going to just knock this back so I can see where the lettering is falling.
that's probably for the best. That I don't think that photo you were using as a reference is exactly one of the better poses.
Oh. And I think I might use one of the other monsters sequences. And I'll just use my blue line. If I remember correctly,
So, which version did you guys like better, the Kurt Russell one or the newer one?
Most people, I haven't seen the newer one, but generally most people, most of the aficionados I've talked to don't care for the new one. It was
Well-
trying to build itself off as sell itself as a prequel, but it was pretty much just a knockoff of a remake.
well, I think it was a really good prequel. And I think you have to look at it at that stage. But the original thing was just absolutely, pardon me, the John Carpenter version was just tremendous.
Yeah.
I think I've seen the John Carpenter version at least 17 times.
Wow.
And I saw it at least 4 times in the theater. Now, I'm trying to decide, it might be easier for me to, rather than to capture the thing that it actually was, to do my own version of the thing.
Mm-hmm. Provided it's not a disembodied hand or a large rock person made out of rocks, you should be okay. Oh, and on other viewing pleasures, I just started watching the new Foundation series.
Oh, is that streaming now?
Yes.
And what's it streaming on? Netflix or? Pardon me, Bill?
Apple Plus.
Was the first episode 2 hours long, or was it
About an hour and 20 minutes, and the other one, the second, was 1 hour. And it's pretty good as standalone. It's pretty good as an adaptation of Asimov. It takes quite a few liberties. But for the most part, despite, as one who's read all of the original books, and picking it apart bit by bit, I still enjoyed it.
So, Mark, are you the host of the upcoming 5:30 session of the toast of the?
No, that's Stowe again, though apparently he's running late, so Paula will probably be doing the beginning of it.
Okay.
Is that today as well, or?
Yeah, 5:30.
Is that every Tuesday?
Every other Tuesday.
Wasn't there one last Tuesday?
Nope.
Oh, so it's this Tuesday. Okay. So apparently my memory on this monster was incorrect. Yeah. I thought the guy's face had two eyes, but there was only one. Well, I do look forward to seeing the Foundation series, but I'm still watching. I'm so behind on my TV viewing. I still am in the middle of watching Barry, which for some reason my wife has never been interested in. So I watch that when I have like a half-hour episode. Oh, something I did start watching was the Squid Game.
Squid Game?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a Korean show. It's I think it's an adaptation from a manga. A bunch of people who are down on their luck are taken to this undisclosed location, and they have to play 6 children's games, but they don't know that when they sign on that these games are deadly. Like the first game, they see this giant robot at the end of the field, and it's red light, green light. So if you run to the other side of the field, well, it's green light, you're okay, then you stop. So people start running, but a lot of people are still kind of moving and wiggling around afterwards. And all of a sudden, those people are shot, dead. And so mayhem ensues, and a lot of people get shot because they start running. But some of these people realize what's happening, and they just remain stock still, or they're shocked so much that they are staying still. And then the game proceeds, and they move farther and farther along with more and more of their number being knocked out. But eventually, some of them make it to the other end. And that's where the first episode ends. And it was all building up to that until then.
Yeah,
So now I'm kind of curious to see what the other children's games, it's called the Squid Game, because one of the guys was telling a childhood game that they used to play in his neighborhood called the Squid Game, which was, running up and hopping around 1 foot. And
the way you were with the name, I briefly was wondering if Korean game shows are as corny as Japanese ones, and it was an actual game show that Netflix got.
Rogers seems to have abandoned his drawing tablet.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm thinking about my next sequence, I guess.
Ah,
So, Mark, I noticed on your YouTube channel regarding Epic Sketch Time, you don't have very many up-to-date sessions.
I on the Facebook or on YouTube?
YouTube.
No, I haven't. I need to mark the dates down on them, and I need to mark them into the channel. I think I've just been loading them in and not putting them on the list. So that is something I need to do.
So under Facebook, are you under Epic Sketch Time?
Is under Mark.
Oh,
Oh, I'm underneath Mark Monlux on Facebook, but on YouTube, see, we're not broadcasting this on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook. There's an entire list of all the Epic Sketch Times going back for years on my YouTube channel.
right.
And there's a list there. But sometimes I get very lax in updating that list. So that's probably one of the current situations.
That's what I figured. Now, you probably told me about YouTube's YouTube statement or policy on COPA,
On what?
COPPA, that they will charge people 40,000 if it's not into a children's description or something.
Oh, I haven't talked about that at length, but I don't list this underneath as a children's description. What they do have is if you make your own videos and you do in the description, their forum now has it where it's defaulted to not be children's content.
Yeah.
But if you are wanting it to be children's content, you click over the button. But yeah, you do have to abide by their regulations.
Yeah, and generally my policy is if you're not doing cute little kittens, it's not for children.
Yeah, well, that's why I deleted my videos on there, because I don't trust the big corporations that charge me 40,000, you know.
Well, your videos aren't going to anything that you have posted up in the past should be retroactively marked as not children's compliant unless you go back and remark them. So I don't think it's a concern for you. Folks, we're going to have to say goodbye until next week, because the Graphic Artists Guild is going to be starting up the Western Region drawing. Now, you're more than welcome to go to that event. I believe it's free and open to everybody. If you go to Eventbrite and search out the Graphic Artists Guild, there's a what's it called, Bill? Is it the Western Chapter Drawing Session, or what's it called?
This one is what is this one called? It's oh man, it's
Toast or something.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, it's technically just a social hour, but our guest of honor is former treasurer Linda Secondari, who will be talking about the new edition of the Handbook of Pricing and Ethical Guidelines.
Wonderful. Well, everyone, thank you so much for showing up this week. And I'm going to put a bug in Elizabeth and Katie's ear and find out why they missed this week. I'm kind of sad. And also, Brett said that he was possibly going to be showing up, but for the first half hour, but he didn't make it. So maybe next time I probably should have resent him a link directly. Anyway, nice seeing you.